Hello and welcome to another Purveyor of Lightroom Quick Tip. Today we're going to cover one that is frustrating to a lot of people, and that is masks. So today I'm going to take you on a complete introduction to masks and hopefully simplify things for you. So let's jump right in. Okay, so we're going to make masking easy. So to start out with, you gotta chill out, relax, and it's all gonna make sense when we're done. Okay, so if you're confused or don't understand exactly how things work, I'm gonna make them easy for you to do. So don't get upset, don't get frustrated, okay, because what I'm gonna teach you is the easiest way in the world to understand and create masks. And at the end of this video, you're gonna be a mask master. Okay, so let's jump right in. All right, so what exactly is a mask? Okay, a mask is a layer, okay, that reveals and conceals information depending on the color. Okay, and in this case, masks are virtually grayscale or black and white. Okay, so the basics are that there's parts of the image where we have multiple layers in a photo, and we want parts of a layer to show through and other parts not to show through. So it's all about revealing and concealing. Okay, it's nothing more complicated than that. Okay, so now I'm going to give you some interesting, easy ways to remember things. Okay, you write this down in your notebook. Okay, white reveals, black conceals. Okay, it's very important. If you can just remember this one sentence, you're going to master, masks. Okay, so in the first example here, I show you white reveals. So if I put a white mask on this picture, what's going to happen? Well, it's going to reveal the image. So the image is going to display because white reveals. Okay, now with gray. Okay, gray is in between black and white, so therefore it's going to let partial of the picture come through, right? And we're displaying that there. And then, of course, black says, conceal it all. Don't let me see any of it. Okay? So as long as you can remember this one slide, okay, remember the sentence, white reveals, black conceals. You'll be a master in no time. Okay, so that's enough of the schoolroom. Let's get into Photoshop. Okay, so how do you make a mask? Well, that's even easier. You're on the layer, and you have an option here with a white box with a hole in it, and it says Add Layer Mask. So all we do is click that, and now we have a layer mask. Now by default, it's white. Okay, and white does what? White reveals, and that's why we're seeing the picture. Okay, so let me put another layer in here just so we can get a clear understanding. So I'm going to add a layer in. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I'm going to add a solid color, and I'm just going to pick white, and then I'm going to drag that below the picture so that we can actually see. So right now we have a white background, and then we have a picture on a layer above it. Okay? So what happens here? The picture is on a white mask, therefore it displays through. Okay, so let's try it if we start messing it up. So let's select the mask, and you'll notice that when I click on the mask, it puts a white border around the mask. So don't be clicked on the picture, click on the mask. And now I'm just going to take using black, just a paintbrush to show you this. All right, and I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to come down, and I'm going to hold down at the bottom and hold the shift key, and you can see that the mask is now hiding that portion and preventing that portion of the picture to be seen, okay? So it's concealing. So if I wanted to remove the TV, I could just paint in black because why? Because black conceals. And now you say, well, why are we doing all this? It's because it's non-destructive, okay? That's the whole beauty of this, is because we're on layer masks, there's nothing that can't be fixed or undone. I'll reverse the colors and I'll paint in white, and I can bring everything back exactly as it was, non-destructively. Okay? Now, that is it. That is nothing harder than that. Okay? So, now, let me show you here, okay, how you create masks, how they work, because a lot of times you want a practical operation. So let's go ahead and jump right in and do one here. I'm going to open up a user sent in a picture. So I'm just going to drag and drop this raw file into Photoshop. Okay. And so a lot of times, this is a real world example. A lot of times people have difficulty making masks accurately, you know, in trees and bushes and complicated scenes. But it's actually very easy as long as you understand masks. Masks is nothing more than what? Black and white and shades of gray. All right. So let's go in here and work this image. Let's I'll just hit auto here and do a really fast thing. Okay, that looks okay. I'm not even going to do anything with it. I'm just going to hit auto and come on. All right, so now I'm opened in Photoshop, and we have the image. Now, I would normally unblock the shadows and so forth and work on the image, but that's not the purpose of it. Let's say I wanted to mask out the sky. Okay, so I could turn around and come up to select, and then select sky, and see how Photoshop does. And looks like it did a pretty good job. Okay, I can come in and see the selection. And, you know, it's missed some areas in here and some areas in there, but it did a pretty good job. Okay, but this is what people rely on all the time, is they want that one-click automated solution. And the fact of the matter is, no matter how good they make the product, the one-click solutions are never going to be good enough for the majority of your photos. They're only going to work on oversimplified backgrounds and foregrounds, okay? When it's real world, you need real world solutions. So how could we go about, I'm going to hit Command and Control D to deselect. How would I go about making a mask for this and make it very accurate? Well, what is a mask? Of nothing more than a black and white image. So what do I want to do to select the tree and the sky separately? I need a mask that's going to select the sky, right? And not the tree. So what does that translate in our new learning language of masks? White reveals, black conceals. So I want to conceal the foreground and those trees so that I can just adjust the sky. So I'm going to show you how you do that. Now you're going to go to area right over here in Photoshop on the right called Channels. Probably 90% of you have never even clicked on this thing. We're going to click on it. And this is going to show you here a RGB combined red, green, and blue channels. As we know, red, green, and blue are combined together to make all the pictures that we see, you know, the colors we see in our images. All right, so I'm going to just select the red. So you can see now it's a black and white image. Okay? And I could select the green. And it's a black and white image of different tones. And if I click on the blue, you could see that. So I can come through and look at the different contrasts. Different parts of the image are turning gray and white, and other parts are turning black and that. So I'm looking through and I'm going, which one of these three channels is giving me the best selection for what I'm looking for? And what am I looking for? I'm looking for the sky to be white and everything else to be black, because white is what I want to work with, which is the reveal, and black is to conceal. Okay, so now using that, the best one of these channels that gives me the highest contrast is the blue channel. And that makes sense because I want to isolate the sky. So now that we have that, I'm going to just copy this. Okay. I'm going to actually deselect. Didn't mean to do that. And right click, duplicate channel. You can name it whatever you like. We're going to call this one the sky, I guess. And we'll hit OK. So now we have this layer here. And it's a black and white image. It is nothing more than that. Now, you can see that there's a lot of gray. And there's a lot. I want to make sure that this is very well selected and clean selection about all the leaves. Okay? Now, it's done a pretty good job, but we can make it better. And how do we do that is we're going to say, hey, we're going to adjust this channel to show the biggest contrast we could possibly show, so that Photoshop knows, hey, this is the mask. So with this layer selected, I'm going to go up to Image, Adjustments, and Levels. Okay, so now when we're with the familiar levels, I'm going to increase the contrast drastically by dragging the black point in, and you see I'm turning it totally black. Okay, and now I'm going to pull the white point and I'm going to brighten up the sky. And you can see I'm making a very high contrast image. When I'm happy, I hit OK. Now you can see down here in the foreground that I still have a lot of the grass coming in here, and I don't want that. So no problem. What do? I just paint in black. Okay, so I just grab a brush and then I can come in and just paint this away. Okay, now there you go. Now we have a high quality mask. Okay, I can paint in white up in the upper corner here just to clean that up. Okay. Now I'm not going to take a heck of a lot of time, but you get the idea. All right. So now I have a very clean mask. So now with that done, I can select the mask by hitting the load selection. And now we have that selected. Now we can go over to our layers. Okay. I'm going to turn all the layers back on. And now on the layers panel, I'm going to hit the mask. And you can see our mask very precisely is now active and isolating the sky. Okay. Now, if I wanted to do, let's say, a simple adjustment, I come in and delete that. See, come up and do, let's see, hue and saturation. I'll do that. I'm going to have it clip. And now I'm going to work with it and maybe increase the saturation a little bit. And before and after. Okay, and so I'm isolating by working on just that. Now the purpose of this is not to create a masterpiece or anything. It's to understand masks. Okay? That's the whole purpose of this, is the mask part. All right? Because once you understand, so if I hit on the mask, alter option, I can see the mask. Okay? And therefore, if I needed to do any fine adjustments anywhere on this mask, I could just simply paint in white and black and make any adjustments. But you can actually see how clean the mask is. Okay? So anything in white will be revealed. Anything in black will be concealed. And that is the basics of masking. Why is this important? Because once you master masks and selections, there's absolutely nothing you can't do in Photoshop. Because it's all about the masks and then working on those defined areas. Okay, so that is it.